Holy carpet.
Yeah, that's holy. I'm actually gonna try and play a couple. Oh man, play a couple of rooms.
Okay.
real quick. I hope there's no pits. Oh.
Someone said stand by, technical difficulties.
Haha.
Ah,
What did I say? Sorry.
okay. I can do this. There we go. I got
Don't fall in the pit.
Oh, reaction. That's pretty subtle. Let's get to a combat room.
I think we may have been. Do we still just have the XML in focus, or is this just lagging?
Oh, they can't see this?
So yeah, so I think we got off focus. Sorry, 1 second. I don't think they can see what's going on.
Okay.
Oh,
Can you
boring.
just keep that screen in focus and not, or sorry, in focus for
Just the second screen and just move stuff to it?
Yeah, just if you're editing, just move the XML over there.
Okay. So
Yeah, sorry. I think we were maybe talking about how fast the road can move, and you couldn't actually see it.
You just killed the logo.
So
I just killed
we
the
were just
logo.
interrupting ourselves.
Because I'm smart like that. Hooray for me. Oh, that's what it was. It's just like stupidly tiny in the back. Okay. Sorry. We're noobs. Okay.
Can you keep that one on this window?
Yep.
Because
That's what I was doing.
that gives me like a whole bunch of Inception type.
Okay, so the video's catching up
Yeah.
here, so.
Give me focus.
Oh, I guess.
There we go. All right. So this is what we were talking about. Acceleration and top speed are very, very high. Yeah, so your guy moves the light speed basically.
So, and all we had to do is tweak 2 properties in the XML to speed the character up like this, and that's all based, like we were saying, in sort of the physics system or physics parameters for the class. So we may actually make a class that probably isn't this fast. That's it might be a little broken that way, but something like the assassin or kind of ninja class may move way faster than the other classes. And like for people who are interested in modding, you could, basically if you mod the game, we're going to disable achievements or some stuff like that, so you can't, totally break the game or cheat effectively to, give yourself an infinite life or whatever. But if you want to play around with it, you can do whatever you want. Infinite life, character that moves at light speed, just mess around and have fun. So that's, the way I see it is like, if you want to mod the game and do crazy stuff with it, like in a way that is its own kind of fun, so why not support it? Like, as long as you can't cheat at the leaderboards or score or anything like that, we're all for that kind of thing.
Okay, so go back to XML.
Okay.
Drag the XML over there so they can...
Okay, so this is the XML for it?
Yeah, so, and then let's change his, scroll to the right a little bit on the actor subgroup. Let's change his attack force to 1,000. Yeah.
Do you want to keep the speed, whatever?
Yeah, we'll keep the speed.
Okay.
Well, why don't you lower the speed a little and increase or decrease the friction?
Well, that's okay.
Set his move
So
drag to
basically make it
0.02.
slippery. It's because we need to show that too.
That it?
Yeah,
You think? Okay.
and then reboot the game.
And reboot the game.
I should have thought about making a debug build for this.
Yeah.
Oops.
So I'll watch this and make sure we still have the screen focused and everything.
Okay, yeah, sorry. I was going to worry that you might not have been able to see the code, but there are numbers. We changed them.
Yeah, it's all just an XML file. Pretty simple stuff.
All right. Man. All right.
So you're still moving pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot harder to control though. Like.
So yeah, you still have pretty good cornering, so to speak. But yeah, it's like
What? Some not
really easy to
enemies.
change direction, but sort of make wide loops.
That's like the tightest turn I can make.
So yeah, we kind of abort some of the properties just a little bit. Why don't you just,
there we go. So yeah, so when you hit things, you have 10 times the attack strength now.
Yeah,
Not damage, but
I really want to hit a floating block. Let me get
so
to that.
that's,
Okay.
yeah, and that would be tied both potentially to your class and to the weapon they have equipped, or maybe even some perks or
I think I can do
sub
it.
items.
I can do it.
So you might be able to pick up and equip. I think you had an idea that you called a counterweight or something that added additional kind of impact, so to speak, to the text. So there are several ways you could kind of modify your character to be able to knock things back farther that way.
Yeah, find a floating block.
I'm trying. I'm just blazing trying to get to it.
Could you make your character flying? Someone asked. And actually, the sorcerer is going to float. We may not allow him to float over pits because that would cheat a room like this.
I think he should.
You'd kind of break the game.
Just make him harder to control.
Well, So a lot of stuff we're still kind of working on, still planning. Need to prototype a few of those things. But
all right, listen to that.
It's not quite as impressive as I thought it would be with modifying it that much. They are probably getting hit 10 times as far away as they otherwise would have. But
yeah, it really just kind of looks like we're playing the game in fast forward right now.
Yeah.
I just want a room with a floating block.
Well, we could change the start room.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So
endless drop, so XML should be open.
While you guys are modifying that, I'll hop back and answer a couple of questions because we just got a bunch more, it looks like. Someone asked, will there be two-player co-op? I've seen hints and ideas, but nothing concrete. So basically, it's something a lot of people have asked, both on Steam and on the Kickstarter campaign. And so unfortunately, the answer is no, we're not going to have two-player co-op. I mean, it's something we would consider as an expansion at some point, but the problem is we'd have to redesign pretty much all the puzzles and kind of, because if you had two switches and you've got to move a box to, press one switch down and then go stand on the other, well, that puzzle is suddenly broken if you have two-player characters because you could just both go and stand on the switches. You'd have to create a third or fourth switch to, make it so you can push the box on those. So, we would basically have to redesign the rooms and dungeons to support two players. And so I'll get back to that in a second since you guys open up a new room. So you're basically just showing off, shooting those boxes much farther and faster.
Yeah, I wish one of these guys would get up here like that. Well, they hit stuff so quickly, anyways.
So, I mean, two-player co-op is something we might consider if we blew past all of our stretch goals. It kind of looks like we're not going to get to many of the stretch goals, if any, right now, but it could be something that if the game sells well enough, is popular enough once we release it, we might add some kind of expansion for that, but yeah, we can't really say for sure right now. But one big caveat to that, we may, and this is also a stretch goal, we may have kind of a minor co-op mode, which we call companion mode, where a second player can jump in as a wraith or a pet or familiar and help out the main player, but its abilities would be limited, and you'd have to kind of recharge the ability to summon these pets. But again, that's one of the higher stretch goals, so not sure if we'll actually get to it. But again, could be an expansion later. We're not sure. Someone asked how we're doing the shadows and lighting.
Here, I can play for a second.
Okay.
Pontificate.
Good question. Actually, the shadows are not. They look kind of good, but they're actually
look
not.
Great, Kobe. Stop being so apologetic.
No, they don't look that good because they're actually like incorrect in a lot of situations. So the shadowing is still heavily work in progress. The lighting, on the other hand, is pretty much finished. I don't think I'll be making a whole lot of tweaks to it. I don't want to go super hardcore into the technical side of things, but if you're familiar with TigSource, Independent Gaming Source website, they have some really nice forums, and I actually have a technical devlog on there for Developers Drop. I think you can find the link somewhere on our Kickstarter. I'm not sure.
Actually, Kobe, you're getting a little bit cut off, so I'm going to very slightly angle the camera here so we can get Kobe in the scene.
Maybe too much. Now they can see me. That's scary. But one of the things that I'll be doing is making a post about the lighting there. It's actually, interestingly enough, when I first started working on the engine, we wanted to support iOS devices that basically aren't supported anymore, and that was pre-shaders. So the lighting is actually all fixed functionality if you're familiar with graphics programming at all, which makes it kind of interesting. But I'm going to be posting about the lighting and the shadows at some point on the TakeSource devlog. So if you haven't, get an account there, make a post in that thread, and you'll automatically get all the updates as I post them. There's also a couple of other like quirky, weird, just funny work in progress videos you can check out too.
Someone was asking if we would be able to add an entire overworld, kind of like Zelda, where each dungeon is a drop, and so you would go into a dungeon. Unfortunately, not for this game. We basically, because of kind of where we were in terms of like our budget, kind of pre-Kickstarter, and even taking into account the Kickstarter, we really needed to limit the scope, make sure the game didn't become so big that we would never be able to pull it off. And so one of the things we decided to limit was to not have an overworld, because